Perhaps one of the best known verses from Galatians is Galatians 3:28, where Paul writes about how in Christ all the barriers, all the identifiers, if you will, that people use to differentiate themselves from other people, how all of those things are meaningless. They don't matter at all compared to being in Christ. Galatians 3:28, Paul says, there is no longer Jew or Greek, there is no longer slave or free, there is no longer male and female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus. Well, what does Paul mean by that? He doesn't mean, of course, that I'm no longer male or that a woman is no longer female when you become a Christian. He's not saying that if you were born a Jew that you're no longer a Jew, or if you were born a Greek or a non-Jew that you're no longer that. He's not even saying about your social status, that free or slave, that instantly changes when you become a Christian. But I believe what Paul is saying is that none of those things are as important or as significant as being in Christ. And that regardless of our ethnicity or our race, whether we're Jew or Greek, or our nationality, regardless of our social status, whether we are poor or at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder, whether we are free or rich or wealthy at the top of the socioeconomic ladder, regardless of our gender, none of that is as important as whether we are in Christ, because in Christ, those things just don't matter as much. We are sisters and brothers. We're part of the same family. And I think the church is still struggling to live into this fully because we're partisan people. Human beings are tribal creatures. And so often we have our tribe and we define ourselves over against other people who look differently, speak differently, act differently, and if they don't agree with everything we think, if they don't look just like we do, if we don't speak the same language or lingo, we can brand other people as the other and even demonize them, dehumanize them, or consider them the enemy or beyond the reach of God's love. And I think Galatians 3:28 is a powerful, powerful reminder that as many of you, as he says in verse 27, were baptized into Christ and have clothed yourselves with Christ. When we've done that, we enter into a new relationship with God, but also a new way of relating to and seeing every other human being. All these ways that we differentiate ourselves opposed to or against other people are not nearly as important as the simple question, are you also a follower of Christ?